Welcome to Tips and Tricks.
Good afternoon, Jamie. Hello,
Good
everyone.
afternoon. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Yes, Dan?
I was just saying hi.
Hi. Oh, yeah. And cool. We'll give it just another minute or so and let people kind of join in, and then we'll get started. But thank you again for joining us. This is a really exciting session for us. And hopefully by the time we end, it'll be just as exciting for all of you. Really excited about talking about training plans. Okay, well, I am going to get started here, and I want to thank everyone for joining us for this edition of Tips and Tricks. This is a super exciting one for us. Training Plans is here, and we could not be more excited to share it all with you. Now you all will be able to create curriculum-based trainings easily, so we can't wait to share everything with you. So just a few things as we go along. If you have questions, please put it into chat and we'll work on answering those so everyone can see the responses. And then I'll pause at different times during this demonstration of training plans so that you can ask other questions if you have them. But please feel free to put those into chat. And then at the end, of course, we'll answer any questions that you may have. So jot them down if you don't write them into chat. So, but welcome to Tips and Tricks this week and the introduction of training plans. I'm Jamie. I'm going to guide you through this, but as with anything, it takes a village, and so got a whole team of SymTrain people behind me so that you guys are just as excited about this new product as we are. And I'll be honest with you. This gives you all the ability to create curriculum-based trainings, but there is one specific reason why we are so excited. I almost feel like I need confetti to throw in the air with training plans. But the main reason why we are so really excited about this launch is that this product stems directly from collaboration and feedback from all of you, our clients. This is for you, and it was created for you in mind of all the different things that you needed. You needed ways to create different plans, be able to pre-schedule those, be able to really guarantee that agents are learning how to have these customer conversations, navigate screens with the right level of confidence and knowledge and service that cares for and resolves the customer's needs quickly. And it also will allow you to better manage and scale onboarding and coaching. So really training plans are really just that guide path, if you will, to what the learners need to learn. A vision into how they are retaining all of this information that they need to learn with criteria that shows a speed to proficiency and the easiest ways to get all of that started, right? So this is it. Training plans will actually be in your SymTrain on February 28th, so next week, which is so exciting. So just to give you a little bit of insight too, this is an optional feature. So the way you assign sims and modules today isn't going away. It's still in the platform. But of course, training plans is really going to allow you to be able to set specific criteria for completion, how many times they have to practice, how many times they need to test, really giving you that insight. Just as an additional reminder, again, any questions put into chat. I'll pause as I'm going along, but we will actually, within about 24 hours, we'll send a recording of this session for you so you can review it. And also, marketing has created some really great other material that will help you really kind of get your thoughts around training plans, because you have a week to really think about the sims, the modules that you currently have, and what needs to be put into a training plan so you can try this with your next class. So you're going to have everything you need. So just to kind of begin, who can create training plans? Sim creators and managers can create training plans. You will now be able to facilitate effortless creation and scheduling of different curriculums for multiple classes at once, right? Really quickly, and really create that consistency with the learning paths that you have. What I really kind of love about this too is that trainees now will have a structured progression of exercises aimed at achieving defined sets of criteria and parameters of completion of that you will choose. You will be able to, they'll know exactly what they need to do, when they need to do it, when it needs to be done, and you'll have visibility of how they did in those practices, who needs more practice, who's not quite getting that yet. Everyone learns at a different level. So kind of imagine for a moment being able to benchmark the curriculum that you're teaching, that you're creating in SymTrain. Think about a new hire class and all of the information that they have to learn in that training. And being able to, I mean, because you have prior training classes and tenured agents already on your floor, you already know where people leave training and needing more reinforcement. Because if tenured agents are struggling with certain things, or people in prior training classes are struggling in certain areas, certainly a new person coming out is going to be struggling in the same places. You can actually create training plans for those certain moments of different things that they have learned, and you'll be able to pre-assign that. So when they leave training, bam, they already have a training plan for that progressive, that continued learning and practice, so that they can really become proficient in everything that they need to do and what they just learned in trainings. So with that being said, we're just going to jump right in, and I'm going to show you how to create training plans, and you'll see all of the ease of it. So any questions before I get started? Feel free to speak up. We are super casual here, and we want to hear from you if you have something to say. Okay. All right. Remember about the chat. So here we go. So this is the platform. You will see training plans right here. It is right under the home page, and you'll click it. Like I said, you're going to see different things as we go along, and everything that you need to do to create the plans. And so here we go. You click on training plans, and it gives you the ability. Again, sim creators and managers are the two roles that can create the plans. So you just click on here, create plan. It brings you to this screen. There are really three main components in creating a training plan. Plan the content, plan the settings, the success criteria for the training plan, and then assignment, who to assign it to, and being able to set the the parameters of that. So I'm just going to start right here, and I'm going to create a training plan. And the first thing you can do is you can click up here in the training plan and just name it. So I'm just going to name this one new hire training. And again, remember, it is designed for you to be able to reuse this content over and over, and be able to assign this really quickly to different teams or users who may need that. So once you do that, it pops up this window. Here are all of my sims and modules. So the great thing with training plans is you can assign sims, you can assign modules, whatever you need for this training plan. So I'm just going to kind of, you just click on the sims or modules that you need. You can, I want to add this Zell one in here. Go back here. I can add that one. So you add all of the sims and modules to this particular training plan that you will need for that. Once you add all of your content, you just push confirm. Here on this page, you'll notice that there's a lot of options. So you can actually reorganize. Maybe you've decided you want to put it in this order, because this will be the order that the trainee will run the sims. You can also sequence it. They're required to run it in this order. You can look at the simulations, the modules, if you want to know the different sims that are in this module. And guess what? I might forget what this sim is. Sim creators, you guys, we have a lot of sims on your minds. You can actually say, let me make sure this is the right one. You can go here, and you can go exactly to that sim to see which one that was. Yep, that's the right one. And you're there. You can also delete delete it. Maybe you added this car one in here and you don't need it anymore and you can delete it. And everything is right here. You will also have the ability to create labels so that you can better organize all of your training plans. So you might have labels already in there. You can create new ones and add as many labels as you want on there to better organize your training plans. So that's it. The next step that I'm going to do after I've chosen my curriculum and I planned my content for this training plan, I'm going to set my success criteria. So when I'm setting the success criteria, the one thing that it's always going to default to is the number of completions that a trainee must do of a training plan. It's always going to default to 1. Makes sense, right? So that is something that it will default to 1, but you can change it. So success criteria for this sim is based on an execution of the sims in that training plan and in test mode. So we're going to talk about practice because you're going to also be able to define that as well. But this is really the success criteria that you can choose is defined on test mode. So how many times do I want them to complete these sims in test mode? Maybe 2, right? I can also, and this is an optional thing, so you can right here toggle this and you can say, okay, in test mode, I want the trainee to get at least an 85% in the keyword score. And if this is a visual sim, I want them to achieve at least 85% in my click score. And I want them to have to complete that in test mode 2 times, getting these percentages. That will define complete. So I can define that all here, and that is what they will see, and they will know exactly what to do with that. So the criteria is based on test mode, the number of completions, again, in test mode, being able to test their knowledge. That's really important because, again, practicing is practice. We want them to get different levels of learning. So let's talk about practice now. So what's really cool about this is you can now define how much practice you give them. So you're going to have some options here. So you can say, all right, for this training plan, I want to give this class the ability to practice as much as they want. They can practice it as much as they want, unlimited, before they go and have to complete this training plan 2 times and get at least an 85% on the click score and the keyword score. I could actually say, I want to set it. I want to say you have to practice this 3 times in practice mode before you even have the ability to go and test yourself, and you have to do it 2 times and achieve an 85 on keywords and click scores. Or lastly, you could actually disable it. You can disable practice altogether, and all they will be able to do is test. So kind of think about it this way. You know, sometimes you have those tenured agents on the floor and they're like, oh, you know what? I've done this for 20 years. I'm good. I think I don't need to practice it. But everyone needs to practice, because if you don't stay sharp, if you don't stay really proficient with the most efficient way to have these conversations and to navigate these screens, then that could be, you know, costing, you know, them better QA scores and everything. So I think a great use of the disable button is to say, no, I totally understand it. I understand. But every single month, every single quarter, whatever you would think, we want you to do, you could create a training plan for tenured agents for areas that most commonly get the lowest QA scores. So just say that, for example. And then you can pre-assign this monthly, quarterly. You can already do it. And then they have to go in here and complete the test 1 time. And let's say that they have to get at least a 90% in their keyword scores. And they have to get at least a 90% on their, and if they do the test and they achieve that, then they're good until the next time that they have to test it. Everyone has to continue to test it, but I think that's a really good example of a disable of the practice mode. For this example, because I'm actually creating a training plan here, I am going to do a prerequisite because I want you to see what that looks like, and I'm going to make them do it 3 times. So after you do all of that, all I'm going to do is save this. And now I'm going to ask you for questions. Does anyone have a question with what I've covered so far?
Jamie, I just have one quick question here. Not necessarily related to what you're covering, but when are we going to have access to training plans? Because on my dashboard, I don't have a training plan at the moment.
February 28th. So next
Okay, great.
Wednesday, I think, is it? Yep.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
It will. Yep. No worries. You will have it. Thank you for the question. Anyone else? Before I continue on, you can always enter it into chat if you don't want to speak, and we'll have more times to ask.
So when they do this, say they don't meet we say, okay, you only have to do it one time, but they don't meet that 90% score. What happens then? How do we?
It remains in their view, and I'll show you what this looks like at the end. I'll show you what a trainee will see. It will remain in their view as in progress. So they will know that they have to complete it, because when they pass it, it will say pass. It will say green. Okay. It will be green. It will say pass. Yep.
Okay.
Good question.
Sense. Thank you.
Yep. Okay.
Jamie, question regarding the metrics. Can we add more apart from keyword score?
For right now, it's keyword score and click score. And I'm going to pass that over to Athira. Athira is one of our product managers who, this is her baby. She has done so much, and it's so great. Athira, are there any other, you know, adding different metrics?
So, Elma, like what we will be doing is, like, to start with, we are focused on keyword score and click score, but we are open to your feedback. You can share out the metrics that you want to evaluate your agents on. You can, definitely share it with us, and, we can have that something in our roadmap.
That's great. Thank you, Athira.
No problem.
All right, I'm going to continue, because the third thing that we're going to complete in here is assignment. So again, remember, it's just 3 steps. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to click here on training plans, and it brings this screen up. So here's the training plan that I just created, and there it is. I also can go back. I want to kind of hover here for a moment and show you. So this is kind of the view of this. I can see that I don't have any trainees assigned to this training plan. And I have my little action buttons here. I could actually, from this view, I can edit it. So I could go back and I could remove some sims or a module. I could actually clone this, because this has a good base of what I need for a few other training plans that I'm creating. And I could clone it a couple of times and then create an ad and not have to start over from scratch. That's how you can really reuse this content and do it over and do it really quickly. I could also delete it if I don't like it. And I can actually start assigning trainees right here, and it brings me to this screen. Or again, I can go to assignment and I can just click new assignment. It brings me to the same screen, just so you know. But this is where I'm going to assign who will get this content, who will get this. So it starts out really by being able to label it. I love the fact that we can name it. So, let's just say that this is for new hire training, and this is for day 1. So this assignment is for that. So once I've named this assignment, now I'm going to go and I'm going to be able to new assignment. The new hire training day 1. All right. So I've got that. So next up, I'm going to select my trainees.
You have to select plan.
Oh, sorry. Who said that?
Yeah, you're back.
Thank you. All right. So I've selected my plan that I need to go in and do that. And then here I go. I can select my trainees. So I can go in here and I can go and I can select individual people if I want. Or I can go in here and I can select teams to add for this plan. Once I do that, it gives me the entire list of everyone. I can say, okay, I've added all of these teams. I can say, oh, no, I got to start over. You can delete them all. I can go in here and delete a couple, whatever I need to do with that. Again, if I want to see, I don't remember who's in this training, who's in that module or in that team, I can go and I can click on that and it brings me there. So you just select your users that you want for this particular training plan, and then you can go ahead and you go to the next. And this is where you set your success, the parameters of when you want them to complete this. So first of all, you can set it for today. The day that you set as your start date is the day the trainee will see this in their SymTrain. So if you want to, schedule it for the 29th, they will not see it until the 29th. If you want to set it for today, you want them to, see it today. I'm going to actually set it for today because I want to show you what this training plan will look like as a trainee sees it. But again, they will see it on that day. Due date, you don't have to plan a due date. You can give them unlimited time for them to be able to complete this. Or you can complete, you can put a due date of whenever you want that to be due. When a trainee has a training plan and they do not execute it within the time frame, they will see a red kind of little oval that says overdue. So they will be able to see that they are late in being able to get that completed. But they will continue to be able to complete it. And so again, you don't have to put the due date, but it's always a great idea. It gives you that visibility, knowing that they're completing it in a timely manner. I think that's just everything. So once you've set your parameters, you assign it, and you're going to get this notification. You're going to be able to see when they will see it. The 21st is the start date. On this particular plan, there's no due date, and it reminds you that the assignments will be published to the trainees dashboard that you chose, whether in the team or individually on that day. So that's it. That's how you create it and assign a training plan. But I want to take a minute and I want to go here and I want to go to the trainee because I want to show you what this looks like. So here it is. It's today. So this is my training plan that I just created. And when I click on it, this is what a trainee will see. So I can see that I have these sims in my training plan. I haven't started it. It's sequenced. I can't go ahead. And as soon as I complete this one, it will unlock this one. What I think is really cool here is the practice and the test. So it clearly defines I have to do these sims 3 times in practice before it will even let me do a test. I think that's really important because I think sometimes people, they're not giving them that practice. It takes going through the sims a time or two just to learn the flow of that, to really be able to test out well. And you might have more complex sims that you might require more or less, or requirements that, hey, you got to be able to do this by this, doing it this amount of times, right? You have the ability to set that. So in this particular training plan, I have to practice it 3 times. So once I've completed that, it will shade out the practice because it's not unlimited practice. If it were unlimited, it wouldn't say anything down here. If it was disabled, it would be gray and it would say no practice for this particular training plan. And then it will unlock the test, and then it would have, I have to complete it 3 successful completions needed to be able to get a complete or a pass on this. So what this looks like, and of course they can run it from the home page or the exercise page, but again, this is what they'll see with the oh, that wasn't a training plan, sorry. But this is what they'll see. And once I've started it, it turns orange and it says in progress. If they do not pass it, it will remain to be in progress. And what they're looking for is that, oh yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. So I want to kind of show you what they'll see. So you can see that I passed this. So that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that pass. Not started looks like this. In progress is orange, says in progress. And then also if it is overdue, it will just be red and it will say overdue. So very clear, explanations of what they need to do and where they are in that process. Of course, the headphone means that it's already been executed. So if they've done some sims and there is playbacks for some of them, they'll have the headphone. And that's it. What do you guys think?
A quick question, Jamie here. So the same way you said, the practice can be limited. Can we limit the test as well?
Yes, you have the ability within the training plans to be able to note. I'll just kind of go right here real quickly. And I'll just add a little sim. And then when you go to set the success criteria, you have the ability to, say you have to complete it 3 times, 4 times in test mode. And again, you can either, good idea is to set the parameters of what good looks like, what the score needs to be, or not. But yeah, you can set the parameters for the test mode, and this is how you can prerequisite the practice. To answer your
Okay.
question?
So the first one, sim module completion 1x. If I keep 1x in the text mode, will the user be able to attempt it again?
No, it will shade out after the one time.
Okay, great.
Yep.
So Gino, once it's executed in test mode, that's done because it's evaluated and the scores are already generated. But post that, if they want to, just check out the simulation, they can do that, but that's in practice mode
Practice mode.
and they won't
Okay,
be evaluated.
makes sense. Thank you, Adira. That answers.
No problem.
Jamie, in relation to that, say for example, the agent can experience a technical issue, and for some reason the first attempt prematurely ended, and we only set the attempt to once. Are we able to edit the settings just for that one learner or that one agent to have another attempt?
It
So
should.
Glory, as of, I'm really sorry to cut you off, Jamie.
No.
But yeah, as of you cannot change any settings for one particular trainee or one particular, assignee. It would be like if you're making any change to one training plan, that's like affecting everyone who is assigned with it.
Got it. And then another question is, so we have created a plan for day 1, and the agent will not be able to move on to day 2 until they're able to complete all of the day 1 exercises. Is that correct? Or it's just going to show us overdue, but they can still move on to day 2.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, because if you have assigned day 2, they're going to see that assignment on that day, that start date. So they would see both. Yes.
And is there a possibility that we're able to lock that until they complete day 1 exercises or whatever the required sims for that day?
What you would do is you could do that. You just wouldn't assign day 2 until they've completed day 1 successfully.
Thank you.
Yep. And just to let you know, we will, when this is launched next week, we will have a report that will be for training plans specifically. So you will be able to have a report to show where people are with that. And it will be in the product when it is launched next week. It's still being worked on. Any other
Jamie-
questions?
Yeah, Jamie, this is Trevor from Sarah. I'm the only one from our company, I believe, on the call, but we are very interested in this. And I know we've been talking about this for a bit now. So we'd like a copy of this recording, if possible, to share with the rest of us.
Yes, you will have it. We will
Okay,
make
thank you.
sure that you have it. Yep. No worries. And you'll
It's
get some
tremendous, though.
additional information as well. So marketing has done a great job making sure that they've prepared some really great materials that you'll have in addition to the recording.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, this is, as far as feedback goes, Jamie, this is tremendous. We've been kind of doing this, manually, and now there's a bit of an automation to it. So we appreciate it.
We are so excited that you're excited. We can't wait to get people in here using it and really, getting some feedback on that. And as always, this will continue to grow just like we do with the platform all the time, taking your feedback, adding new features, adding, quality of life to existing features. So keep all that coming as well as you get in here and really get the benefits out of training plans. Any other questions? Well, this has been great. I thank all of you for joining us. And we will make sure that if there were any questions in chat that we send that out as well. Like I said, it will take about 24 hours to get the recording or less. It'll be on YouTube, and then we'll also send out those additional materials. If you have any questions, nothing is too small. If I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for you. I'll get you to the right person. But make sure that you reach out. Jamie@simtrain.com. Couldn't be easier than that. But we are all here to help you really make the most of this feature and of SymTrain, as we always are. And so we really are excited about this. And thank you so much for joining us. If you need anything at all or have any questions, because sometimes when you think about it, you get these questions, you just let us know and we will be right there to answer your questions. All right. Well, thank you all. I hope you have a great rest of your week. It's already Wednesday. So yay. And thank you all so much for your partnership. We truly, truly appreciate you.
Thank you.
Have a
Take care.
good one.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank
you so
Thanks,
much.
Thanks,
Jamie.
Jamie.
Bye.
Thank you,
Jamie.
Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie.